Hello, I'm Brad Fraser, and this is Final Fantasy 16. Uh, I might finish. I might finish this stream. I think. I think I'm going to finish early tomorrow
Here to help me
instead.
pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two,
Orphans?
in fact.
Yeah.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
Yep.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe and provided for and loved. The Hideaway.
But of course. Oh, yeah.
Of course. The children would be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Verda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned. And they're headed this way.
Bandits
All right,
are one
then.
thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them.
Right.
We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Verda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck.
Lines in the sand, too.
What's in it?
Have to listen to me. They're coming. You need to evacuate.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside?
It's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
The scout.
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak. You may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps.
Yeah, you know what?
Been
Just stay and
unmasked,
die. I don't
may
care
well have
anymore.
been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie.
Uh-huh.
Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
All right.
You
Bye-bye.
may not trust me. But for the sake of your people, ask yourselves,
No, let's
if
just
there is
go,
any
bud.
chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
These people are so freaking stupid.
You're making a mistake.
Just...
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Verda.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
When you're so bigoted, you lead everybody you know to die.
Raving about now.
Lord Verda,
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but They wouldn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted. The bloody fools.
Mm-hmm.
Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Cid! Further! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There won't be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
It's you who should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run! Far, far away!
Just go!
These people.
Come on, then.
Wait, someone's coming.
Stop! You're hurting him!
Yeah, the kids are gonna get stoned too. Yep.
What did Lubor ever do to you?
He lied and told us he was a
Solves all
person.
your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad? And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that? Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty? Who spends all day every day making sure things run smoothly around here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever. But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling? He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist!
See, the fact that these people stop stoning when they hit the kids proves this is a fantasy.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
Die quick.
We
It'll
won't
be easier
run,
that way.
but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The Ether Flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the Scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage, and they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalimil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic Force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalimil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalimil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalimil.
Do it for Dalimil. Do it.
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside?
Wouldn't you like to know?
We can't leave a single one alive.
The Akashic Gentleman. What an Akashic Gentleman this is. Just an odd thing to say, though. Ability finish. Alright. Shark Fang, Bloody Hide, Magic Ash, and Meteorite.
The League is disbanded.
Indeed.
I should get back to Dalimil and see how the others fared.
Sometime later.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
The last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive.
I thought your name was Lord
Victory
Underhill.
is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalimil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
This is an outrage. We'll never do that.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat? How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubo. About the children.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalamel.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
Quest complete. Lines in the Sand 2. We have the Briar's Kiss signboard and the Briar's Kiss Pride of Dalamil. The forge is almost as popular with traveling merchants as the trading post's famous healing baths, where the weary can soak away their saddled sores on the way to Drake's Fang. And Breath of Light, Impulse, and then we have Meteorite.
Ginger and ginseng.
How about a few spicy sausages to put in the
So,
pot,
you're
eh?
going to join the Watch after all, then?
And then buy what we can up here, and then we'll fast travel to something else around here.
Are you looking for something in particular? My thanks. Here you are. Fare you well. Good day, my lord. Go with Gilbert.
And the buckler next.
What are you looking for?
May Gilbert smile upon you. Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please, just make it stop.
I'm scared.
It's all right.
Off goes our bird. Both my brother's bird and my dog are faster.
It can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
Hello, fellow.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
Hello, Valentine. How are you?
Finish him.
Yes, yes. I seem to recall that you had terrifically awful timing earlier. right as I was leaving. But you are back, and I appreciate your return. I am once again summoned here. Yes. And you are appreciated for your return. All right. Ooh. Fuck. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't work well. That one would do better. And we got him. Enemy slain. Alright, we're at Magic Ash and Goblin Coin.
A little longer than I'd have liked.
That went pretty fast. So we're doing side quests before we go on to the final area.
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Lovely.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic.
I don't want to envision my channel.
It's a fucking
You know,
disgrace.
I come and I have a good time. People are welcome to join me. Whenever I do games that are not fully voiced, like this one is fully voiced, but if I have other games, then I like to do voices for them as I read through things.
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am.
Try to make something that you could just kind of half watch out of the corner of your eye if you so choose.
To right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree
A place
to
to
anything,
chill, if you will.
I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones,
Sometimes the lip sync not matching is quite humorous.
I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
I like playing games that I enjoy and sharing them with others.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw.
What is an ordinary outlaw, anyway?
I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control.
Don't mind if you
I'll
can
make
ask what
contact
you
with
like.
my
That's perfectly
counterparts in
fine.
the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
You can certainly ask any question you want. I will answer to the best of my ability. The answer may not always be the one you want, but I will answer.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm an envoy?
I'm flattered.
Right.
I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Right.
And I may know just the person.
Is that so?
Ooh.
And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
I don't know who he's talking about.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
Talking about Goots? I don't know who he's talking about.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
Mm-hmm.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience.
I will always listen to ideas. Understand that I'm a part-time streamer, seasonal streamer generally. So I probably won't be implementing anything drastic or even especially interesting. But I will always listen. Alright, let's go to Tabor and see what we can do there.
Welcome, welcome.
Well, darkness go near. So apparently it's these accessories that's different in the different places.
Of course. Go safely.
What's going on here?
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here.
Ah, that's right. The will.
If you would do us the honor, my lord.
I know that I ask much of this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and their family. Yet, even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms. And only with all Rosaria striving as one might, we at last overcoming it. I have made plans to see us through, but such as are the obstacles that stand in our way, it shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you. Your father.
An inheritance?
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim.
That'd be nice.
But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
Makes sense.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned.
Right.
Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message.
True.
Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Yeah, let's try it.
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic?
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the Third Chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
Sure.
It would not. But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village where he had heard the cult were wont to assemble. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the southern reaches of Waloed.
Okay.
If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes, and may the Firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
Duty Undying 2.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the Third Chair first, shall we?
Cyril's guest.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Okay. So go right in Titan's Wake.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here.
So we'll head left at the fork. What a pity bird.
Ready, go? Run like the wind. Eyes peeled, Joshua.
Alright, let's take this critter down, shall we?
There it is.
The House Rosfield.
Too slow.
slain. Alright. We got the Heartstone. Griffins suffer something akin to Crystal's curse, their flesh slowly turning to stone over the lifetime of channeling ether. Unlike bearers, however, the effect is far more gradual and limited to a sac around their hearts, a slower progress of petrification, resulting in the formation of a gemstone of rare beauty. You also got Wurite and Sharp Fangs.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
That's better.
Alright, let's buy that stuff I used up in this battle.
Welcome, welcome. Anything else? Of course. A fine choice. Go safely.
Thrown away. It's up here.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
2 Heartstones.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame, it is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your Grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. for giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should.
Obviously, I'm going to say yes.
I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Lost. There it is.
I have some things for sale.
Breath of Darkness for Dancing Steel.
May we meet again.
There we go. Founder's Grasp. Astronauts have pictured adorned the wrists of mythical founder and ancient engravings, Archwitz Elwyn, intended for gift these bands for his beloved sons upon their coming of age, that they might serve to remind them of the unbreakable bonds they share as proud scions of the ducal line, and the unwavering devotion that would be required to see their duty done. Okay. $18.36. There's $16.95. All right. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. I know, kitty. I know. Yes, you're sweet ups. Okay. Okay. We got aiming
I've got a new
home.
design for a blade.
That's about what.
Titan's razor, I call it. Can cleave through rock.
We'll head right.
Faster!
Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide? It looks like we found him.
And there you have it. Adamantoy's shell. It's believed that adamantoys will grow a thin new layer of its protective shell once every 2 moons. Considering that many of the creatures live for hundreds of years, that should come as no surprise. The shells of older specimens can be several hands thick and weigh over 50 stone. We've got Sharp Fang and Meteorite.
If Mid needs another, she can come and get it herself.
Oh, we got a potion. Oh, let's see what's down this way. That appears to be everything in this area. When we're ready, we can make for Origin. In the meantime, we've got all of these little side quests to get done. So I'm going to start here. Got 4 little things to do.
Don't get surrounded. The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
A library, perhaps? Royal Intelligence Training Report. In the wake of the tragic fire of Caer Norvent in 873 V and the subsequent depletion of the most highly practiced intelligencers, all mainland strongholds are instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers, improvised weaponry, and assassination techniques, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stornir for inspection. The report details progress made in the stronghold of Garnick, reconfiguring Waloot's ranks of esteemed intelligencers.
This is a rule.
Metaphasia, or Tail of the Wyvern. White of flower and black of root. The latter gives out an inky gall when cursed or crushed, or cut or crushed. The tribesmen of Normand Storm trick their skin with oaken needles soaked in such, drawing curious patterns on their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The gall is passing toxicate, then a single drop taken by mouth would result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favor among the heavens.
His interests were certainly varied.
Folklorist Fabulary. The Moogle, no spirit or sprite, appears most often in Valesthian folktales than the humble Moogle. They are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps. Most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenital spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. It is said to have sweet tooths, leading to common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweet meats uncovered overnight, lest naught remain but crumbs in the morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small dark wings, which they are somehow able to take flight in the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the top of their heads, and yet, as one detail regarding the Moogle that's most often remarkable than even the orbs atop its brow, the fact that creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth. In the case of the Moogle, the fact may not be so dissimilar from fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm. And the illustration besides the name, why is none other than the Moogle? Of course, it is true that creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were headed to extinction. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden far away from human view. The Distance, Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely held as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title of whose gift came from commonly known as the most common contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing, and the wording being used as tributes of the time. These born of the blessing were allotted as living crystals, and granted highest office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence of their kind would become a full-fledged religion, led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove faithful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous in their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power, their own structure of state, they were mistrusting of the organization led by bearers, for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents to their homes, and breaking up meetings by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill out into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for 9 generations and decimated the population of men and bearers both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson and left even a more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valestian people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valestia came together to sign the Continental Accord, which initiated a system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, bearers are other than human, had its roots in the bitter wars of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Indeed.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse.
Indeed.
I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
You really think this is going to go well for you, man? Apparently you guys do.
Let's see, shall we?
Well, I wish you guys luck, because you're going to need it. Clutch Mine, Wheelwright, Steel Silk, and Magic to Ash.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
That'll be quite the trick if she can explain all of that.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
From a distance, no mention is made of the name of the author. Whether that is because the title page has been lost to time or because the tome was published anonymously, it is impossible to say.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it.
He spoke nonsense.
He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the Hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, When enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Scholar's Bonnet. Who then tells scholarly headwear, ordered to her upon the completion of her studies at the University of Canberra. Give the men and women of the benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you as I do. Clive's Chambers. Alright. New quest is available nearby.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Now we're about to send you away. What's up, Gav?
You alright?
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need. A feather.
You know, I read
Or the
stuff we're
bird
talking
whose
about.
horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Silver linings. Making amends. Master Clive, I'm aware that there are matters of greater import than demanding your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves, that I might ask a single favor regarding His Highness, Prince Dean. Sure.
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. I wonder what this is about.
Tales to tell. New day. I'm not so foolish as to believe that a single shaming at the hands of town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart, just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding of it of its grime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and a bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, our courage and leadership has granted it just that. We must now decide whether to embrace it or waste it. A wise man once said the night is always darkest before the dawn. It's a good thing that I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. Always conquers all. Here, not long removed from that which you last place yourself between us and peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try and find the words to somehow express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph. Where in the past we leaned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere, in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which we should have apparent all along. We are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? Is it this love that has united us and given us true strength? Should every thrall, Akashic, bandit, and brigand in the realm come charging our gates, we will not fret. We will not falter. We will fight. And we will win. Isabel. All right. Oath, Hangman, Arthur's Rush signboard, the Veil signboard, Guardian's Scarf, Briar's Kiss signboard, the Crimson Caravan signboard, Sid's Goblet, Scholar's Bonnet, Medicine Jazz, Continental Censer, Mattel's Apples, Ambrosia's Tack. Tacky. Moog, moog, moog. A wedding banshee.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye? Seen enough?
Yeah, all the allied reports are over. Ah, the Hippocrates. Only 2 more hours left today. I will finish tomorrow.
Lawsman Harpocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the colour. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's Roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
Okay. Let's head to Port Isolde. They're right over here. We go aboard the rowboat.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, Shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. In Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy?
Oh, you took a papa.
Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
Probably the dog wants to see other things.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
Good, someone does.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
That's a good pupper. Quest complete. Okay, charred sparring sword displayed in Clive's chambers. Clive's old sparring sword, salvaged with a faithful friend in the aftermath of Iron Blood invasion, 18 winters past. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Rodney Murdoch, displayed in Clive's chambers. Cavil's Fang, accessory. Even a legendary king, surrounded by realm's greatest knights and blessed by the very heavens, would have found himself hard-pressed to unite the warring tribes of ancient Valestia. Fortunately, he had the help of his fine and trusty hound, Cavil. Increases Torgal's attack potency.
Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
Caution, brother.
Let's try.
Alright. Alright, let's head to this spot. Figure what we can here. Oil from Anthill.
Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there should be one more around here somewhere.
I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype. Mid, tell me this is all you need.
Adamantoise shelled. Okay, read that one already. And shipwreck tallow, a thick, noisome lubricant made from the rendered fat of sea beasts, commonly used by shipwrights in the cranes and winches they employ in shipbuilding.
Oh, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
The table upstairs, wasn't it?
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales?
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly.
Well, did they have it?
Brass cogwheel, an overlooked component of Mid's deconstructed scales. Its purpose remains a mystery to all but Mid.
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own, but with the right cog in the right place. Well, you just wait and see. That should do it. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes, children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Aim high. We've leveled up. We're up to level 45. Model airship Curiosity. Amidst dangerous dream of flight, immortalized in miniature. My dad always said there are two ways of living life: chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. Mid, displaying Clive's chambers.
Miss Shirley says your books made quite an impression on the children. You've inspired them all to become writers themselves.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen herself.
First the skies, then the crystal. What next? The advent of Great Queen herself.
Model airship. And the charred sparring sword. A fine hound. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot of you to be learned for that hound of yours. Aye, he'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you, but that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of Koopa nuts. It's too good to remember that. Hold again. Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for uniting youth from a distance. The tome made me who I am today, yet I thought that I should never set eyes upon it again. That those who took it from me have forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now that I am whole again, thanks to you, I regret that I am only filling the gaps in your knowledge and not the holes in your soul. For which reason I shall ever be in your debt. Alright. Speak with Quentin.
Run like the wind.
Slow, meandering wind. It's okay. The bird doesn't have to be fast. And it's a good thing, too.
Back to the stables, girl.
We may be bruised, we may be battered, but we won't stop fighting.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on, then. Propose.
Will you marry me?
You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Quinton!
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution. And I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion. But luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Got some tea going.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends? I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Quest complete. Three's Company. The Trinity Accord, a curiosity displayed in Clive's chambers, signed by representatives of Rosaria, Zemeckia, and Sunbreak. This mutual accord set the stage for a new age in store, if not officially, then at least in spirit. What great moment of history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony, Byron Rosfield? We also have the breath of darkness head in the cloud, residual dark ether that, having failed to dissipate the battlefield, has instead manifested in a solid form, not unlike crystal, but with the elemental purity that renders it far more potent, if not highly specialized in its applications.
What do you think that thing is?
Okay, Triunity Accord, signed before dissolved by the representative of Rosaria. We've already read all that. Alright. hunt. What? You didn't think I was just gonna go off and say... You didn't think I was just saying that stuff about hiding my engine, did you? Wouldn't you know I already had a fine spot picked out and everything. But if you're gonna go on this grand adventure, you'll need to be quick about your business with this ready gun of yours. Take too long and somebody more clever than you'll beat you to the prize. I suppose, in that case, I could bury you. One of my lesser inventions. Goodness knows I've got countless. Alright. Wrong button. Alright.
Run like the wind.
The wind unbroken.
This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here.
Conditioning schedule. Today's exercises will consist of the press yard, 20 sandbags for each duration, as instructors shall dictate, the furnace, burn intensity that gradually increased, and live combat, 1 or 3 hellhounds, depending on performance.
Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture.
Badbach Conservatory, writ of incorporation. The Kingdom of Valud hereby incorporates this institution, wherein juvenile bearers are to be granted the opportunity to give themselves in service to the state as soldiers. Trainees succumbing to the crystal's curse or otherwise perishing are to be disposed of with all haste. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bearer disposal within the bounds is punishable by death.
Disposed of? Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find them.
I've recently learned my own daughter was among the children turned to stone by the brutal training I subjected them to. I had not so much as thought of her since handing her over to the authorities as a babe, but inquiries into the military confirmed that it was her. I had been torturing my own flesh and blood. And now I see her everywhere. Today one of the children smiled at me in the hope of receiving a few scraps at my table. It was her smile, the smile she inherited from her mother. The mother I killed for giving birth to a bearer. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me, my daughters, my wife's, all of them, all those children. So many have died at my hand. I can bear the guilt no longer, and so I've decided tomorrow I too must die. It will be the last order I give these poor wretches, the last torment I subject them to. I'll command them to tear me limb from limb, and enter my accursed corpse within the white tree, whose crooked hands reached the sky in supplication. And beside me my shame, my curse, the record of all of their names, all of those that I have wronged.
This reads like a suicide note.
Mm-hmm.
Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out.
It's really reaching up to the sky.
forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry.
Hans, 10 years old, lithification. Alfred, 9 years old, succumbed to conditioning. Franz, 12 years old, lithification. Paulina, 10 years old, emaciation. Bruno, 11 years old, disciplined for attempting flight. Johanna, 12 years old, disciplined for attempting flight. Reinhardt, 9 years old, succumbed to conditioning. Marta, 10 years old, succumbed to conditioning. Larthar, 12 years old, lithification. Dietrich, 11 years old, emaciation.
So many names.
Mm-hmm.
This place was a slaughterhouse.
Pretty horrid.
Where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
Quite the sound. What's mine? Where Sharp Fang, Magic Ash, and Meteorite.
I'm done here.
I hear that you traveled to Ash, Cid.
I did.
Did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did.
Yes.
Bearer Registry, a concise and disturbingly detailed record of bearer orphan deaths at the Bad Batch Conservatory.
If I may, the Bearer Registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Or any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends. My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place.
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Sid, I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering, and in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
Quest complete. Breath of Ice Mesmer. Reduce Mesmerize cooldown by 1.2. Grab our reward here.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Faith undyingly are the shadows that quicken the Firebird's wake, and from the shadows to serve our Lord and those who would be his wings. Ring of the Swift Shot.
You earned this. Come again. I have more for you.
May I? One hour left. We will get close to finishing these side quests. I don't think we will quite finish them today. The Tri-Unity, bringing together three men from differing backgrounds, was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did, for a better Valisthea. The Tri-Unity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all. One that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You've paved that road with us. With your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by Akashic. I need to hurry. There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
I'll do what I can.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life.
From a dark writ of designation, King Overlude hereby designates this facility a prison for the detainment of bearers, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train a Kazu beast for deployment in the field. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof will be punished by death. Captive bearers have been provided solely for the perusal of the aforementioned purpose. Express permissions required for any of the bearers in any other capacity.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Right. I told her to go up, so I'm going to go across. Recommendation concerning Kazu beast deployment. The Kazu has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. This being the case, it is hoped that successful deployment to the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. In exercises concluded thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead that bearer captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast be then drawn into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss to Waloder lives.
Minimal loss of Waloder lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
Memorandum on Kazu beast feeding. Recent supply shortages left us with insufficient resources to feed the Kazu entrusted in our care. Fortunately, the creature is observed to kill and consume the bearers assigned to fight alongside it in a MAC battle conducted as part of its training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding in this way, suggesting that live bearers may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While this behavior is unexpected, it is not unwelcome. Bearers no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but Akashic down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. locked downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents, and it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
And go face an Akashic beast downstairs.
Let's see what we can find down here. Survivor. And she sounds close.
What's up, kiddo?
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
The Kuza Beast, rank A.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Got him. Notorious mark slain. Behemoth shackle used in crafting. And meteorite, also used in crafting.
Finally.
Cid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
Certainly doing better than the people that the thing ate.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway.
Right.
We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
Sometime later.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Hyde Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Hyde Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Quest complete. Nobody's tool. Breath of Darkness, Gungnir, and Meteorite. Blood Moon, Masterless Marauder, and of course we beat that Kuza Beast.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Alright. There's about 300 left for that one.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Alright, I need to up my abilities. 2405. 2390. That's all for now. So we got 4. Now we have time for 3 more of them. Well, let's get what we can done. Overhawk's Cry Cliff.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there.
So we visit the father's grave.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I think that Phoenix looks kind of
I
like
shall
the
be
god
borrowing
from
this,
the
Father,
image.
if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
From like that mural.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Quest complete. Rusted battle helm. Archduke Elwin's helm, worn during the victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising. War is coming, my boy. We must make ready. Archduke Elwin, displayed in Clive's chambers. Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Right now, time for Martha's Rise.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo.
Oh, yeah?
There's some gutted hovel not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you.
What are you after? Much obliged. I wanted one of those. Is that everything?
Ember.
Take care out there, eh?
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Now, let's get this stall set.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicerine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
I've got greens of all
Looking for
shapes
shelter.
and sizes.
Come on inside, I'll introduce you to Martha.
Check the back alley.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 Akashic jars couldn't hurt me.
Were you the one attacked by a silver chocobo?
Can I help you with something?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's Ride. It's almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
Indeed. Let me ride my silver chocobo to go find the legendary silver chocobo, which probably doesn't exist. Isn't that right, girl?
Can hardly make out a plummet thing. For a sunny day.
Drags. We're not left by bandits for a change.
Can't bring a chocobo here. This is the chocobo area, but chocobos can't go. Because chocobo.
More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned.
Wark? What the wark was that?
It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you.
All right.
Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
Right?
It was no trouble at all. Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Oh, yeah.
Any luck, you say?
The people of the North, silver chocobos are symbols of good fortune, the mere sight of one potentially meaning the difference between a failed harvest and a bumper crop, according to Gav at least.
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, You managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
Rusted battle helm. Winds of Fate. Do you remember what you told me the night at Phoenix Gate? That with the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of the Dominant sits upon yours. But are we not both Dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both of our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield. Now let me choose to be yours. Forge our own paths. Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. His turn for Jill. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we'd be poor friends indeed if we did not seek to lighten that burden, even if only for a fraction, before we depart for the skies. I would speak on you more of this in private. Certainly.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Quest accepted. What's up, Joshua?
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different.
Even though I haven't really talked to her at all.
I realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's Spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
up, Ada?
Me lords.
No, nothing like that. What it is,
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did. Aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, me lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
None of us will be Torgal. Don't feel bad.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
It happens.
You may have had 10 too many.
Yeah.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
Quest complete. As was Silver Linings. Hi, Kitty. Yes, I know. Winter Mead, Curiosity, a potable made from honey collected from the Northern Territory in short summers and fermented slowly over the next 6 moons. Said to warm the belly in the nights, the North's cold winter nights. I said I was thirsty. Gav. Displayed in Clive's chambers.
Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. It's just a big crystal.
That's a fair question. My cat really wants my attention.
This be Nickelberg.
Be safe.
Nickelberg.
These people aren't turned.
Indeed.
The village seems safe enough at least.
Mm-hmm. This should be the last one before we stop for the day.
What is going on here?
Looks like they're worshipping something.
Ah. Did you, too, heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this...
Came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves?
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Turn a Catholic.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved. Forgive me, but did another foreigner like me come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He's staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Excuse
What's
me.
up?
Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you? Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
You're
That's
not.
right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Soon you'll be
Cyril
the
was
best
worried
trumpet
for your
player, don't
safety.
worry.
He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before.
The Fallen Lord know that. No, no.
Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light.
Pretty
Not that they
bonkers.
might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become Akashic. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation.
I mean, they could just go into a flood.
Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
Yeah.
I'll go find out what. Stay here.
I'm gonna go kill him, and he's gonna be like, "How dare you? Why would you do that?" It's like, because they were gonna kill everybody.
An ether flood. Oh no.
I'm certainly
Must be
stopped.
something I can do.
That's what they wanted. Why are you?
Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready.
Got him. So if you guys want to be Akashic, all you have to do is just kind of chill for a bit. And you'll turn Akashic. Which is what you wanted, right?
We meet again. I've killed your kind before.
Got him. We have Fallen Iron, Wheelwright, Magic Ash, and Meteorite. Akashic next.
Damn it. Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me. and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become Akashic in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Sure.
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
There you got what they wanted. Good for them, I guess. Well, at least they're happy, right? Sometime later.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
Right. What's up, Cyril?
My Lord Marquis. Welcome back.
Thanks.
I'm glad to see you hale and whole.
Yeah, it's more than I can say for your friend.
Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings to you.
Mickelberg report, the third chair's report of the teachings of the Ashen Savior cult, is that our edges stained with the same man's lifeblood. Here's that report you wanted. Your friend died to get it.
He
You're not going to react?
Died
You say that.
protecting the villagers from an echo. I buried him in Mickelberg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
If you could not save him, no one could.
The villagers, they were believers in this savior cult. They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their wills.
And they got their wish.
Then an ether flood came. And their wish was granted.
Yep.
Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was death by another name.
Yep.
Then he perished defending liberty. A hero's end.
Sure, we'll go with that.
For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their own terms.
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most perfect expression of one's faith. It matters not how misguided others might judge one's decision to be. Only that the decision is one's own. We live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them. We protect them. And yes, we die for them. For better or worse, that is our creed.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save them. And you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe that he believed it was. We of the Undying are not slaves, but willing servants. And this was his will, the ultimate expression of it.
All right. I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the line of duty. They died serving my house. It's only right that I remember them.
Or someone.
That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs at once. My lord, it has been, and shall ever be, the greatest honor of my life to serve House Rosfield. Though our duties may differ, yours is no less important. I pray with all my heart for your success. And were they here, I have no doubt but that every one of my fallen brothers and sisters would feel the same.
Quest complete. We've leveled up again. Level 46. We have the Clayhearth signboard, displayed in Clive's chambers, emblem of the Undying's headquarters in Tabor. This village is home to the finest leatherworks and lapidaries in Themechia. Been little aware of the affable new neighbors or members of the secret society sworn to serve the Phoenix. And we also got some Orichalcum. Yay! There was a time when Orichalcum was so abundant it was used in everything from armor and weapons to coins and cutlery. However, when the twins' only Orichalcum mine was fully exhausted, the trading price for the noble metal increased tenfold, causing people who had it to hoard what they had, ultimately making it rarer than even adamantite. And they opened up my mind. Trophy earned. Alright, well that's going to be it for today, and we will pick this up tomorrow morning, where I think we'll finish this, and then we will probably go on to bigger and better things. On Tuesday, probably some more Final Fantasy XIV. On Tuesday is my expectation. After we finish this game, I think we'll finish this in the morning and Final Fantasy XIV in the afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.